So good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today at the historic Dudley House, one of the first suburban estates built in the Roxbury Highlands Park area in 1825. My deepest thanks to Roxbury Community College President Jackie Jenkins Scott for hosting us here today. Thank you to Executive Vice President Marta Rosa, the Smart Building Technology Executive Director Frank Markey, and RCC Foundation Board Member Greg King. Great to see you again, Greg. Thank you for being here. Representative Liz Malia could not join us here today, but I just want to once again thank her for her 23 years of incredible service. She has served her constituents and the district's institutions superbly over all those years, and we're grateful for all of her attention in support of the Dudley House and Roxbury Community College. We're joined by Representative China Tyler, who is a fierce advocate for this project and for so many other initiatives in the community, and we're going to be hearing from her in the next few minutes. So I'm thrilled to celebrate the $4 million in congressionally directed spending that Senator Warren and I have secured for the Dudley House and the Reclaim, Rename, Repurpose project with the Roxbury Community College. And of course, that's with the support of Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley as well. And it's part of the nearly $140 million in direct federal spending the Massachusetts Senate and congressional delegation has brought home for our Commonwealth. I'm proud of Massachusetts' long history of investment in public education and our students. The fabric of Massachusetts is woven by the threads of individual hopes and dreams and aspirations of our middle class, our immigrant communities, our scientists, our educators, our friends, families, and neighbors. And I'm so proud of RCC and its commitment to honoring those dreams and serving this community. Together, we can make those dreams a reality. It starts with ensuring that important institutions like Roxbury Community College have the resources which they need. Unfortunately, this school has been historically underfunded, making it difficult to maintain its historic landmark. This $4 million investment will fund RCC's construction, renovation, training program, the Reclaim, Rename, Repurpose program, or R3. This program aims to teach participants skills such as site assessment, design, carpentry, and electrical work with energy efficiency in mind. And the Dudley House will serve as R3's first site, providing students with the opportunity to learn hard skills in real time and to finally provide this landmark with much needed attention. This funding and this work is important for two reasons. Not only will this program revitalize this historic landmark, but it will also revitalize our workforce. The Reclaim, Rename, Repurpose program will literally reclaim, rename, repurpose the Dudley House. Once owned by David Dudley, descendant of Massachusetts Governor Thomas Dudley and his wife Hannah, the house reflects different moments in our history. Now it is time for this house to be a reflection of today's Roxbury, today's dreams, today's hopes for the future. The renovated Dudley House will serve as a space for the residents of this community. People will be able to join together for community events to learn about and commemorate Roxbury's rich history. Additionally, R3 will offer graduates access to a career in construction trades and a means to economic self-sufficiency. This project provides minority students access to in-demand, future-proof jobs in the trades. It will also expand on RCC's existing clean and green energy programs. In 2019, just a few short months after I first introduced the Green New Deal with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I visited Roxbury Community College. I learned about RCC's innovative smart business technology program. The SBT program is designed to address the growing need for trained workers to install, commission, and maintain today's smart buildings and optimize peak efficiency. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this a smart building. We're going to ensure that this building not only is a net zero building, but that the young people who will be trained here are going to know how to ensure that everything that is constructed is net zero from now to eternity, because that's what this generation of young people want. They want jobs that work to solve the problems of the climate crisis, and especially in communities like Roxbury that have always been left behind, have never been given the full attention which they deserve. That is what today is all about, making this a net zero building and then giving the young people of Roxbury the skills they need to do it for every other building in the city of Boston going forward. So I returned to Roxbury Community College in May of 2021. I was here with Mr. King on that auspicious day to announce my civilian climate corps that I introduced with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez once again. And with Roxbury Community College's largely black and Latino student body, the SBT program is providing a unique opportunity to diversify the clean energy workforce and ensure that climate justice means racial justice. Students educated by programs like the Smart Building Technology program would be expertly prepared for the jobs and opportunities provided by the Civilian Climate Corps. And what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and I have said is that half of all the funding should go to disadvantaged communities. Half of all the funding should be targeted towards black and brown students so that they get the help which they need in order to be able to compete for jobs in providing a safer environment for the 21st century. That is what the Civilian Climate Corps is all about. That is what this grant is all about. It's centering all of these issues where the impacts have been worse, and to then provide the community with the resources and then the talent to be able to do this job. So that's why I'm so glad to be here, because it's about time that we centered frontline black, brown, and indigenous communities as we work through to our climate goals. And that's why I'm so grateful to RCC for implementing a program that will prime graduates for good paying green jobs while building a welcoming space for them and for their families. Our students deserve a community-driven environment and opportunities to hone their God-given abilities. And this brighter future begins right here at Roxbury Community College and with R3. My thanks again to everyone in RCC administration for their leadership in establishing this program. My colleague, Senator Warren, and I, of course, Representative Presley, our elected leaders at the state and municipal level, and all the staff, all of the educators who make RCC such a shining institution here in the Commonwealth. And most of all, I want to thank all the participants in this program who will shine a light to a greener, brighter future for Roxbury, for Boston, for the Commonwealth, as we are the leader. We are not just the Bay State, we are the brain state. And we have to invest in the brains of everyone in our Commonwealth to make sure that they get the help which they need to become full participants in our economy, in our green economy. So that's why I'm just so happy about today in this transition. And this building is going to become the symbol of it. You know, it will be the center of it. And everything that we do, from making this net zero to then giving young people the skills to make this city a net zero global leader, will be absolutely key. We already have one green monster over at Fenway Park. We're going to turn Dudley House into a green monster, producing young people who are going to go out and do the job here in the community. Now, let me turn it over to your great president, Jackie Jenkins Scott.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Senator. Welcome home. We are thrilled to have you back with us again. The Senator always comes to Roxbury with good news, but we know you live in Malden. We know you're from Malden. But can we say Roxbury's your second home?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when he goes out to the western part of the state and they say the same thing, we know he's going to say yes. But we know Roxbury is his second home. Welcome home, Senator. We are thrilled to have you with us this morning. Senator Markey always comes here with inspiration, with commitment, with dedication, and he always has new ideas for us. And we welcome each and every one of them. What we welcome today is his long-term commitment to helping us find the resources to renovate the Dudley House. Now, this house has had a long history in our community, and Senator, you spoke of all the great uses for this building, but I want to tell you that all the neighbors who live around here are thrilled that this house is being renovated. It has been an eyesore in our community for a long time. So on behalf of the entire Roxbury community, I want to say thank you because in just a few years, our neighbors will be able to look at this building with pride. They will be able to see a building that they're proud of, that is clean, that is renovated, no broken windows, no wooden windows closed off. They will see a building that they can use. They will see a building that their children and grandchildren can come and learn in. And they will see a building that benefits the entire community. So I know I speak for thousands of people in this neighborhood and thousands of people who drive down Columbus Avenue when I say thank you. Now, with the $4 million that the Senator has retained for us, we can officially launch the Reclaim, Rename, Repurpose project. And the Senator has spoken of the value and the use of this project. This building is a historic building. And I mentioned to the Senator just on the way in, we are launching the work to renovate this building. You all heard me say launch. You know what that means. We have to raise another $6 million. But we are grateful to our Senator Markey because you know what he did? He looked at me, he said, oh, $6 million? I said, yeah, we do have to raise another $6 million. He said, we can do that. We can do that. So I want all of you to thank the Senator in advance for what he's going to do to help us finish off this project. Wouldn't it be nice next year marks the 50th anniversary of Roxbury Community College, Senator.
Wow.
It marks the 50th anniversary. And this college has a legacy, a rich, rich legacy and history. Wouldn't it be nice if towards the end of that 50th anniversary year, wouldn't it be nice, can you all envision a celebration here
Incredible.
to end our 50th anniversary? Let's put that vision out there. Let's lift that up. That as we end our 50th anniversary year, sometime early 2024, because it's going to take us a couple of years to get this renovated. But as part of the ending of the 50th anniversary, when we start the next century of Roxbury Community College's history and legacy to this community, that starts our next century. Let's put that vision out. Everybody lift that vision up, because that's what we're going to do to make that happen. So we are thrilled that you all are all with us this morning, and we are thrilled to have Representative China Tyler with us. I want us to recognize, the senator has already recognized Representative Malia. She never misses a Roxbury Community College event. She was just with us 2 weeks ago for commencement. The only reason she's not here is she was in a car accident this morning. Now, she is perfectly fine. Her car was totaled. But we told her, do not try to come up here this morning. So I want you to just please give a round of applause for Representative Liz Malia. She was on her way here. We love her. We will miss her. But we also have Representative China Tyler, who is also a major supporter and advocate for this college. So we're going to conclude today's program with the words of our great representative. And is it okay for me to say you're speaking on behalf of Representative Malia and you? Please welcome Representative China Tyler. Thank you so much, President. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm very grateful to be here this morning to support the R3 initiative. And I guess I'll start my remarks by thanking Senator Markey for your commitment. You know all too well that as we continue to grow this Commonwealth, sometimes that can be a very difficult thing to do. And I want to speak specifically towards the industries that we establish in the Commonwealth. We did a cannabis industry recently, we did sports betting, and one that is very particular to this issue topic is the green industry, which we are establishing with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and Governor Baker. Just recently, a $600 million investment was invested into a company called Vineyard Winds to be able to, again, make us a green state. So I want to say thank you so much for all your initiatives on the green front, because we are number one, and we will make sure that we're number one when it comes to the green industry. And this initiative, the R3 initiative, is that. But we come across a couple of problems when we try to establish industries. And when we kind of look at numbers, when we review how the industry is doing after a year or two, what we do notice is that there is a big issue with the workforce. What we're seeing in a lot of workforces is that they're not equitable. Some workforces are even upwards to 75 to 90% white male, and that just doesn't speak to our communities. And so this project is very important because it creates a pipeline for folks that are of this community and throughout the Commonwealth to be able to have an opportunity to learn skills, new skills, and to get into those industries. So that way, when we look at the numbers and we review how the industries are doing after 1 year or 2 years of it progressing, it is an equitable industry. We have so many industries that we're working really hard to establish, but I just want to make sure that, again, I commend RCC for doing what you can and using your platform as our community college to help incubate support for a lot of the students and future leaders in our community in the green space. I'm very grateful to be here this morning, and if it weren't for the leadership of our great senator, Senator Warren, and also Congresswoman Presley, we wouldn't be here today. And I look forward to continuing to be a committed partner in the legislature This is a very great year for us all for very many reasons, but I'm very grateful to be here. And thank you so much to the community for showing up. One thing I can say about you all here is that you all always show up. And that's something that we're forever grateful for, because it is a collective effort to get these things done. Again, $6 million, that's not a small number. We're going to have to work really, really hard to get there, but I can assure that we will always show up for Roxbury Community College. So thank you so much again. Congratulations to all the class of 2022 who graduated this year, and we look forward to continuing to see you up on ribbon cutting of the Dudley House. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you, President, for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just as we close, we just want to thank the Roxbury Community College team who always deliver and work so hard to make sure this college not only represents our students well and does well for our students, but when we call, we show up and we show out. So I want to thank Jordan. I want to thank all the facilities team, all the people who work to make this morning happen. We have no electricity in this building, and we're here. So enjoy the rest of the day. The sun came out for you, Senator,
Yes.
and so we're glad to have you all. You want to say any closing words? Are we all finished?
just any questions that anyone might have. Yes.
Tell us about the initial funding, the $4 million that's being to some scientists, how that works.
How does the funding work? Well, it's going to be $500,000 for program development, another $500,000 for project management, $1 million for an architectural firm and their costs, so they can figure out how to make this net zero, okay, which has to be our goal for the 21st century, and then $1 million for supplies and materials and green residential tech, which we're going to have to purchase in order to make sure that it all works. We're going to want this to be absolutely the state of the art. And then we're going to need $5 million more dollars for building materials, construction costs, whatever, to get that done. And we can already think of some wealthy people and banks in this city that might want to participate in the project to make sure that we telescope the time frame that we have the ribbon cutting in 2024. Is that,
Yes.
Madam President?
We're going to conclude
Madam President
our
has already
50th anniversary.
set it up. So that's the plan. So thank you all so much. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Sir, can you give us an update on where the bill for the National Environmental Justice mapping effort is? Is the bill you sponsored?
Well, that's a good question. So, so inside of the Build Back Better bill, which is still pending, and we're still negotiating the conclusion of it, I was able, with Congresswoman Cori Bush from Missouri, to introduce the legislation which is included, which will provide the mapping money in order to identify all of those communities in the United States who have been suffering from environmental injustice. Because if you don't map it, you can't solve the problem. And so we are hoping in the next month to be able to conclude that package and then to give that funding over to the EPA so that we can have that national map of the historically disadvantaged, environmentally assaulted communities in our country. And, I am from Malden. When I was growing up, the Malden River was 3 blocks from my house. It's still 3 blocks from my house. This is where I still live. And my mother would say, Eddie, whatever you do, don't swim in the Malden River. Because it was black with a pre-Jimi Hendrix purple haze over it. Because of all the chemical companies, rubber companies, coal companies, all along the Malden River that use it as a dumping ground. And that's what we know that corporations do. They use the communities that aren't the wealthiest as the dumping grounds, as the places where they use them as environmental sacrifice zones for the good of the economy of everyone. But of course, those who suffer are those who live in the adjoining areas to those companies. So that's what Cori Bush and I are doing. We're saying, no, we're going to map it, and then we have President Biden saying that 40%, J40, Justice 40% of all the funding in the Build Back Better bill will go towards communities that have historically been left behind. And my hope is that we will be able to complete that bill over the next month to 6 weeks. That's my fingers crossed, but you can see how right now the Republican Party is saying no to gun safety legislation, even after last night in Tulsa. You know, we have to work hard to make NRA stand for not relevant anymore in American politics, and we're having a very difficult time getting Republicans to understand this. Republicans are cowering in fear of the NRA, even as children are cowering in fear in schools across our country. So it's a disgrace, and we have to work hard to make sure that we rectify that problem, but along the way, environmental justice has to be a top priority for us. So thank you, Mr. King, so much for that question. So thank you all. Thanks for being here. Much appreciated.
We'll see you before 2024, but we'll definitely see you for the groundbreaking and the opening of this building in
It's great.
2024.
It's really great. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you. Let's get this job done. But do we have the architects here? Who is here?